So today I just want to take a quick look at this 10-inch Ego pole saw attachment. So I've been wanting to get this for quite some time, and as a matter of fact the price has gone up about $30 or $40 since I last put it on my list to buy. So I did want to test this out, so let's just look into it right quick today. At the time of this video, this is a little over $150 just for the attachment itself. The chain looks really good. Comes with the owner's manual, of course. And the bar looks really good. The sprocket turns good. This is the power head that goes with it. Of course, I already had the power head part. I do really like how they have the tool here with the storage on the pole itself. That way it's right where you need it, because chances are you will have to tension it up from time to time. We'll take the cover off and go ahead and put the chain and bar on. Bolts captured, that's always a good thing. The drive sprocket looks really good and heavy duty. I really like the build quality of it so far. It's a small version of the chainsaw bar and chain here, being a 10-inch, but seems to be made very well. I am going to have to loosen this adjustment up so the bar fit on here. Just loosen that screw up, slide on the sprocket. I'll show you more detail later, but it does have an arrow on the actual chain for direction. So I know my arm's blocking it here, but what I'm doing is just trying to make sure that the cover goes into the little line-up hole here. You can see top and bottom view here in the pictures that I'm showing with the circle. Just get that lined up and then get the screw lined up and started, and there we go. I'm going to tension this up pretty tight, because just from experience with brand new chain and bar, it's going to get loose in the first 2 minutes of running probably, so get this pretty snug before we tighten it up and head out with it. Yeah, it feels pretty good. As long as we're good and free here, that's going to loosen up a little, especially when we put some oil on it and run it around a few thousand revolutions. And one of the biggest things with chainsaws is people put the chain on backwards. So if you look here, Ego makes it easy with the cover having an arrow, and we also have one that's mentioned on the blade. But of course, just common sense, we know that the cutting edge is going to go forward like so, but many times I have seen people have them on backwards and they don't cut. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Let's lock it down right there. Go ahead and put some bar oil in it. I do like the way that the caps has the tether on it. I have actually heard a lot of complaints about these leaking the oil out of the canister, like when you put it up for storage. And in this part of the video I can break in and go ahead and tell you, it does leak bad. All saws are going to do it, but this thing does leak the bar oil pretty bad. Honestly, the best thing is don't have a lot of oil in it when you put it in storage, to be honest. But I do really like how it's translucent. You can see very well. So I'll show later in the video, but holding it up, I can see the level very well. So that was well thought out. Let's go ahead and put it together here. It slides right in and clicks. Tighten it up. See how the camera pick up the oil coming out like a mist. Yep, I think you can see that. Seems like it's loud, but honestly, without the motor running, you never even hear the bar and chain making any noise on the gas one. And I do want to get the extension, at least one, maybe even two. That'll give you 31 inches per extension pole, and not only give you more reach, but it'll keep you from having to be right up under the limb you're cutting, of course. Get more of an angle on it. But there's the cover, and this looks nice. Let's go see how it works. Man, that is so quiet and fast. This is going to be super handy to have around. Right now I'm just cutting some lower limbs that bother me when I'm cutting grass, and you know, the bottom of the limbs is hanging down below head level. Well, you can see in this part here, the limbs were actually below my head. So just trying to go ahead and cut these limbs But eventually, if I get another extension pole, I will be able to reach up further if I need to. This will probably do 80% of what I need, honestly. It does have some weight to it, but that weight actually helps it hold against the branch really well too. So to give you a workout. Just seeing here how it does, just will it grab the limb and cut it outside, you know, not being up against the base of the tree, and it actually does pretty well. We're going to cut a few here and just see, without cutting the bottom first, if it'll pinch and hang up, or will it just cut on through. Typically on these like bent like this, I would cut the bottom first, of course, and just cut straight through, and it hung down just fine. I'll go ahead and get this bigger one too, so you'll see it on video. Usually I would notch the bottom real quick, but we'll just see how it does here. It pinched, but it did come out, and just a little bump on the bottom here, and there we go. If Ego could only make something to pick up the limbs easier now, chip them and get rid of them, that'll be nice. This is the easier and the more fun part. Well, it worked very well. I'm not going to take much longer on video, but this is the attachment that I chose. I believe this was $119 when I first started looking at it, and at the time of purchase it was $159. So a lot more buying options out there. I want to mention too that this is the 31-inch extension pole. You can buy these as individual, and I think you can buy 2 at a time as well if you're interested. This is the power head if you need it by itself, but honestly it's always a better deal to buy a combo. I already had the power head with the string trimmer and the edger, so there's many combos you can buy. For example, this one, if you didn't already have the power head, for $199 it actually has both, so that's definitely a huge savings from buying them individually. That's a no-brainer. And then if you decided that you did want to buy the multi-head system with the power head and maybe the string trimmer, because this string trimmer is the same one that I put the brush cutter on in a video, and everybody's asking me about putting the brush cutter on their regular Ego, and I tried to make sure I mentioned in that video more than once that it goes on the power head only. But yeah, these power heads have a more commercial, or should I say more like a gas type trimmer head, easy to put stuff on like your own preferred string trimmer heads as well as brush cutters, and it worked pretty well. I'll put a link to that video up in the corner here. And it's even more options, right? You can buy some of these with the extension, you can buy some with a 5 amp hour battery, which if you need another 5 amp hour battery, honestly that is the best deal by far, to go ahead and get the edger, the trimmer with a power head and a 5 amp hour battery. But if you're like me and don't really need the batteries, then it's not really worth the difference. And for some of you out there, I mean, you might want the commercial pole saw that has the commercial telescopic pole, and supposed to be lighter weight. The handle does look a little bit better, but it's a lot of money, but it does come with a 5 amp hour battery and I think a nice charger. So many options available, and I'll have some links down in the description of the video if you're interested. Any of those links you click on are affiliate links, and it helps support the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. So thanks so much for watching, and God bless.